Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're cutting through some of the noise around educational tech events. We're not just going to read you a press release here.
Yep.
We want to give you like the strategic blueprint of a major initiative that just finished up. We're zeroing in on the SharkByte 2025 Hackathon. This was hosted by Miami-Dade College, MDC, and the source material actually calls it their premier college-wide hackathon. And our mission today, it isn't just about the logistics, who was there, what happened. It's really understanding what this intense 72-hour event tells us about current trends in applied tech.
Exactly. And for you listening, our aim is to skip past the basic what and get right into the why. Like, why did MDC focus on these specific technologies? What does gathering students from, as they say, across the campuses, what does that signal about their curriculum strategy? We're trying to extract the real insights here about the event structure, its goals, and yeah, those specific tech areas they highlighted.
Okay, so let's kick off with a detail that honestly jumped out at me immediately. The location. It was a 3-day event, right? November 7th to the 9th, 2025. But it wasn't in some, standard engineering building. It was held at MDC's North Campus, but inside the School of Justice Hall. That feels significant, doesn't it? Suggests a certain direction.
Oh, absolutely. That choice of venue, it's almost never random for a big college event like this. I mean, sure, SharkByte was clearly about things like app development and AI. We'll get into that. But holding it in the School of Justice Hall, it strongly hints that the real-world challenges they were tackling probably had something to do with, public policy, maybe local government issues, cybersecurity ethics.
Or maybe even specific legal tech needs.
Exactly. It gives the whole thing this immediate civic relevance right from the start.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it leads nicely into the core mission you mentioned. Hackathons, they're always about intense creativity in a short time. But the sources really stress this collaboration aspect across every campus, so not just the computer science students, presumably.
Right, and that holistic approach is vital. If you're actually trying to solve a real-world problem, you need different ways of thinking. The source material says those 3 days were packed with, creativity, coding, collaboration. But the objective underneath it all was specific. Designing and developing projects aimed squarely at solving those real-world challenges. It sort of elevates it, doesn't it? From just a coding contest to more of an applied innovation lab.
Okay.
And that pressure cooker, that 72-hour timeline, it means teams couldn't just sit around debating theory. They had to produce something tangible, a minimum viable solution, basically.
And delivering something meaningful under that kind of pressure, especially with a diverse group, it needs support. Serious support. They didn't just unlock the doors and shout, "Go code."
Right.
The event had what the source calls a dynamic lineup, workshops, dedicated mentorship sessions, networking too.
Yeah, that structure is really the secret sauce, I think. The source says these supports were designed to empower both the beginners and the experienced programmers. Think about it. If you're tackling problems that might touch on, say, public safety, tying back to that School of Justice location again, you need people who understand that domain, not just the coders.
Ah, okay. So the mentors weren't just tech experts.
Presumably a mix. The mentorship ensures that someone new to coding can actually contribute meaningfully to a complex project. And, maybe just as importantly, it stops the experienced programmers from getting bogged down in things that aren't core to the tech solution.
Okay, so if that structure is the sauce, then I guess the technology list is the main course of this deep dive. This seems like the real strategic nugget for you, the listener. The 4 specific areas that the industry experts and faculty mentors were guiding students on. This tells us a lot about MDC's current technical priorities.
Right. This is where it gets really interesting. Because the guidance wasn't broad, it was tightly focused. 4 specific, pretty cutting-edge topics. Participants were guided through 1. App development, 2. Data visualization, 3. Cybersecurity, and 4. Artificial intelligence, AI. Now, that list itself is a snapshot of market demand, sure, but the combination is what we should probably unpack a bit.
That's a really good point. Why this exact group of 4? I mean, you often see AI and cyber talked about together, right? They're kind of the advanced defense and computation side. But why insist on app development and data visualization as equal partners alongside them?
Well, I think that combination speaks directly to the hackathon format, that need for rapid demonstrable results in just 72 hours. Think about it like this. App development and data viz, they're often the necessary outputs, the way you show the solution. You could build the most amazing AI model or find a critical cybersecurity vulnerability, but if you can't present that insight quickly through a working app or a clear data visualization dashboard,
then the impact is lost. especially in a judging situation.
Exactly. The impact is definitely blunted. You need to communicate the value fast.
So data visualization wasn't just taught as a separate skill, it was maybe framed as the communication layer for the other more complex projects, like the AI or cyber finding.
Precisely. That's how I read it. Imagine a team spends 72 hours using AI to analyze, I don't know, local crime statistics, tying back to the venue again. They absolutely need data visualization to instantly show the judges or any potential user where the hotspots are or how the AI identified a pattern. It makes the complex stuff accessible, actionable even. It's the difference between saying, we built a model and look, here's what our model found right now.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense for the output side. But what about the input side for the heavier topics, cyber and AI? In 72 hours, were students really expected to build, like, massive new security systems or foundational AI models from scratch?
No, almost certainly not. And that's kind of the strategic beauty of a well-scoped hackathon. The sources imply the focus was on applied elements, practical application. So for cybersecurity, they were likely tackling specific contained problems, maybe securing a particular data process, or finding known types of vulnerabilities in a sample system, not building a whole new enterprise firewall,
Yeah, manageable chunks.
Yeah. And for AI, it's probably similar. Using existing tools, maybe pre-trained models, and applying them or fine-tuning them for a very specific local problem, like perhaps quickly classifying types of incident reports, or maybe predicting short-term resource needs for, say, emergency services. Again, you see how that could tie back to the school of justice context.
Yeah, the theme keeps popping up. It sounds like the environment itself was designed to foster innovation, not just through teamwork, but by imposing these realistic constraints. The source mentions encouraging teams to push their limits and bring bold ideas to life, but it sounds like it was within a pretty pragmatic framework.
I think that environment teaches incredibly valuable skills. Skills that transfer directly to the workplace, things like project scoping, ruthless time management, and maybe most importantly, communicating across different disciplines under pressure. If a student can actually deliver something functional in that kind of pressure cooker, well, they're immediately more attractive in the tech job market, right? They learn to prioritize functionality over perfection sometimes.
Which is a perfect lead-in to the final stage, the culmination. After those intense 3 days of coding, getting mentored, probably pivoting a few times, the focus shifts completely. It's showtime, bringing those bold ideas to life in front of the judges.
Right, that final showcase on the last day, that's the real test. Teams presented their finished projects to a panel of judges. And this is where those app development and data visualization skills really earn their keep. It's not just does the code run, it's can you convince these experts that your solution actually works, that it's needed, and maybe even that it could scale.
And apparently, they did convince them. The source material said the presentations showcased impressive creativity and problem solving, which suggests that the focused approach, the mentorship, the specific tech choices, it all worked. It translated into actual, tangible results that impressed the judges.
So stepping back, what does this all really tell us? What's the bigger picture takeaway?
I think this SharkByte event, it's clearly more than just a competition for bragging rights or a trophy. It functions as this powerful, very rapid platform for applying knowledge, for connecting what's learned on campus with the immediate need to generate technical utility. It shows that MDC is actively prioritizing skill development in app dev, AI, cybersecurity, data viz skills that directly address current needs, potentially local ones, given the context. It's like a high-speed interface between the college and the demands of the tech job market. That's a great way to put it, a high-speed interface. Okay, let's quickly recap the main points before we wrap up this deep dive. The SharkByte 2025 Hackathon at Miami-Dade College, a strategically focused 3-day event. The location, School of Justice Hall, hinted strongly at civic or public safety-related challenges, and crucially, they focused everyone on 4 key tech pillars. App development and data visualization were presented as essential partners to cybersecurity and AI, likely because they're vital for demonstrating solutions quickly. And the outcome? Tangible, problem-solving projects that showed real creativity under pressure.
And thinking about that pressure and the goal of real-world utility, it raises an interesting final question for you to consider. Given that 72-hour constraint and the need for immediate impact, which of those 4 core technology areas, app dev, data viz, cybersecurity, or AI, do you think was actually the most challenging to implement meaningfully in such a short time? And therefore, which one required the most careful, the most precise scoping from the mentors and organizers? Thinking about that trade-off, that balance between the ambition of the tech and the reality of the clock, Gives you a real feel for what made this event tick operationally.
That's a great thought to leave things on, the inherent tension in a hackathon like this. Okay, that's it for this deep dive into the SharkByte 2025 Hackathon. We hope this analysis has given you a clearer, maybe more strategic view of why this kind of event matters in today's tech education landscape. Keep seeking those deep insights.